Ladies and gentlemen, there's been a lot of talk lately about all the risks of GMOs and labeling GMOs. But let's get down to the scientific facts. There are no known health risks of GMOs. In fact, there are no negative effects at all of GMOs. So why do you need to know when your food has GMOs in it? Let's get down to the facts. Sean. Oh, hello there. This pear that I'm eating is genetically modified. Do you know how I know that? Because 90% of all crops grown in the United States are genetically modified. But that's not a bad thing, because crops that are genetically modified don't need to have the use of pesticides. Pesticides are bad because they can run off of the crops that they're designed to protect, and they can very much harm the environment. And also, they're very harmful to the humans that consume them. That's why you need to wash your fruit before you eat it, to get off the pesticides which are bad for you and the environment. The historical facts are, modifying organisms is nothing new. Farmers have been modifying their crops for thousands and thousands of years, since the invention of farming. Without being able to modify their crops, farming never would have been able to produce the mass amounts of food that it does today. Without that, we would be unable to feed our children.
There are children starving in Africa, and we're worried about GMO labels? We need GMOs so that we can make enough food to manufacture to get to the 7 billion people on this planet, many of whom are starving. I would like to address the issue of fat chickens. Chickens in their natural state are rather skinny and do not taste very good when they are cooked. However, genetically modified chickens are what we eat every day. And let me tell you something, chicken is good. And you can't complain about it. Now what we have is the problem when you see the chickens and they're alive, and they're really fat, and they can't even lift themselves off the ground with their own 2 feet because of how obese they are because of the GMOs that we give them in their food. Some people would argue that this is inhumane. However, this is simply not the case. Because while the chickens may not have quality of life if they have GMOs and are obese, that they're going to die anyway, because they are used for human consumption. And if we have chickens which are fattened up purposefully, that means that less chickens need to be killed to feed our families. So, if you don't want to see chickens killed and you want humane conditions for chickens, don't argue against GMOs. Just go vegan. The fact of the matter is, not everyone is as educated as we are. Businesses rely on GMOs for their profit and success. You see, if we make GMO labels mandatory, the uneducated people are going to see those labels and assume that the food is bad for them. Which it's not, but they don't know that. Therefore, they will start boycotting that business, and that business will fall into debt and then eventually just go out of business entirely. That will lead to another economic depression, which will essentially crumble the entire American way of life. And we don't want that to happen, do we? Therefore, go pro-GMO. Live your life to the fullest.
May I go right about here? How do we conclude this?
Well, that concludes our presentation on GMOs and their labels. We hope you enjoyed.
So ladies and gentlemen, please remember, support GMOs. Not for you, but for the children.
And for America.
And for our families.
And for the world.
America.